Live from downtown Detroit, Local 4 News at 6 starts now.
A local metro park is now the scene of a sexual assault against a teenage girl.
Tonight, we're learning how that girl fought back before things could get any worse. We thank you so much for being with us for the news at 6 o'clock. I'm Kimberly Gill.
And I'm Ty Steele. Tonight, the Macomb County prosecutor is praising a 15-year-old girl for her bravery. This is where it happened on Saturday at Lake St. Clair Metro Park in Harrison Township. Pamela Osborne picks up the story from there.
We're talking about 3 teenage girls enjoying some time outdoors at the Lake St. Clair Metro Park last weekend when they were approached by a man they didn't know.
Nobody gave him permission. Nobody said do this. He just did it.
Investigators say 23-year-old Abdul Nassar Muthana Abdullah Muthana began harassing the girls last Saturday, making sexual gestures towards them. But that's not all. Prosecutors say afterwards, Muthana allegedly approached one of the girls, a 15-year-old, touching her butt and then forcing his hands into her pants.
A young lady has to now experience this. What do you think her future holds when she has to go out in the public and remembers this happening in public?
The teen kicked him in the groin and was able to get away. Metro Park Police, with the help of Macomb County Sheriffs, arrested Muthana in the park. He was arraigned today on a charge of criminal sexual assault. We sat down with Macomb County Prosecutor Pete Lucido.
To assault her in a sexual way by not only engaging her, but also to put his hand or attempt to put his hand down her pants, not right.
Not only is he outraged by the 23-year-old Detroiter's alleged conduct, he can't understand why he's free on a $50,000 personal bond.
You know, even a tether, keep an eye on him. What's going on here? A mental health examination. What's going on here?
He's been ordered to have no contact with the victims, other minors, or Lake St. Clair Metro Park. Reporting in Macomb County, I'm Pamela Osborne, Local 4.
Breaking news right now. Just within the past hour, Detroit police have shut down a gas station. This is actually due to a shooting last night. The assistant chief says a clerk at the Valero station near McNichols and Conant fired a gun at a customer, causing the customer to be hit by broken glass. The injured person is being treated for non-life-threatening injuries, we're told. Police say the customer posed no threat and the clerk fired from behind one of those glass partitions. The clerk was taken into custody and is awaiting charges. As soon as we learn more information, we will bring that straight to you.
This afternoon, the mayor, along with a group of developers, announced the start of the restoration of Lee Plaza on the city's west side. J. Scott Smith is live in Detroit with more details on what they're calling the next big comeback story for a building in need of help. Hi, Jay.
Good evening, Kim and Ty. And yes, this building behind me has stood on West Grand Boulevard for nearly 100 years. And this ambitious project plans to make it the latest historic building in the city to get a much-needed facelift.
For 30 years, everybody coming in and out 96 saw this building in the skyline with the roof that you can see is not there. And the easy thing was knock it down and hope they forget.
Now, if you've driven down the boulevard, you've seen it. Honestly, you can't miss it. It's Lee Plaza, a 16-story abandoned hotel that has stood empty, casting a dark and deteriorating shadow over Northwestern High School since it closed in 1997. However, instead of demolishing it, today marked the official start of the renovation.
But we said, but what would happen if you renovated it? You made that a part of the permanent skyline.
Lee Plaza first opened as a luxury hotel in 1928 and was added to the National Registry of Historic Places in 1981. It has undergone a number of changes over the years, ranging from being a hotel to an apartment building in the 1940s to a senior living home in the 1960s, all while falling into further disrepair before it was closed 28 years ago. David DeRita runs the Roxbury Group, who, along with Ethos Development Partners, bought the property 6 years ago from the city, and they've been leading the restoration. He sees the building as being in the same vein as the Michigan Central train station and the Book Cadillac Hotel.
As there was passion in this neighborhood and memory in this neighborhood of what this building was.
The project had been plagued by delays, but now has finally begun, and while the walls are currently covered with graffiti, the vision is that Lee Plaza will become the latest Detroit comeback story.
We are starting today the restoration of Detroit's last vacant high-rise. And that's a pretty incredible thing to say. I grew up in Detroit in the 60s and 70s. I watched the lights go out in the 80s and 90s.
Now, Mayor Duggan has said the plans for Lee Plaza include 117 affordable senior housing units, which will be as little as $450 per month, and that's a part of what will be nearly 200 units inside of this building. By the way, the mayor says, along with David DeRita, that they can expect that this project will actually be able to be fully finished up by the fall of 2026. We're live on West Grand Boulevard. I'm Jay Scott Smith for Local 4. Ty and Kim, back to you.
Really exciting. Okay, Jay, thank you.
A former substitute teacher in the Huron Valley School District has been found guilty of sex crimes against children. This is an update to a story we've been following since last spring. Timothy Doherty is accused of groping 6 kids during his time as a substitute teacher at Spring Mills Elementary School in Highland Township. Now a jury has found him guilty of those 6 counts of second-degree criminal sexual conduct. The victims are between the ages of 9 and 11 years old. Huron Valley Schools said they suspended Doherty in April of 2024 when the allegations came to light. Sentencing is set for next month. Doherty faces up to 15 years in prison and a lifetime electronic monitoring if he ever gets parole.
A decision on the future of 2 Hamtramck City Council members is expected within the next few hours here. A private investigator hired by the city found Muhith Mahmood lives in Troy and Abu Musa lives in Warren, not within Hamtramck city limits. You may remember a couple of weeks ago when both men denied those allegations.
I'm really frustrated. I'm angry. I'm not going to speak anything. I'm just going to deny the allegation. Every freaking piece of paper is here. If anybody wants to see it, I can show it right now.
I was the councilman for more than a decade. I disagreed for the investigation, and I was sued the court.
Musa is running for re-election to the council, while Mahmood is aiming to become the mayor of Hamtramck. Tonight, council is set to vote on whether they stay or go. We'll have a crew at tonight's meeting, and we are ready to bring you the decision and reaction when we get it. We've learned of another case of someone scamming a local senior citizen out of tens of thousands of dollars.
This is so sad. The Oakland County prosecutor says this man, Mohammed Ghazi, called an elderly Waterford woman and convinced her over the phone he was a rep for the McAfee antivirus software company. He's accused of telling that woman the company had accidentally deposited $20,000 into her bank account. Then he asked her to withdraw that amount and give it to someone who would be coming to her home. This actually happened twice to her, totaling more than $40,000. The victim became suspicious, thank goodness, and called Waterford police. That was the right thing to do. And they started monitoring the victim's cell phone, hoping the scammer would call again. And he did, asking for an additional $43,000 this time. And this time, police were waiting at the pickup point to arrest Mohammed Ghazi from Warren. Police say Ghazi scammed elderly victims out of more than $200,000 in Michigan, Ohio, and Indiana. He's now charged in Oakland County with false pretenses and using a computer to commit a crime, felonies that could land him up to 20 years in prison.
All right, let's see what's happening with our forecast. Nice to get a little bit of rain, especially if you did some planting, which a lot of people do right after Mother's Day.
Gotta water those plants.
Let's get over to Kim Adams.
You do, and we need some warm weather, and we're getting that too. So we kind of win, even though it doesn't feel like the greatest day. We have a lot of clouds out there right now. Out at the airport, temps are close to where they should be, in the upper 60s to right around 70 degrees. 70 in Port Huron, 66 in Grosse Ile, and 68 in both Detroit and Pontiac. Tomorrow, almost a carbon copy of today, maybe a degree or 2 warmer, but we have scattered showers throughout the day, so it will rain at times and also be dry at times, and our high again reaching 73 degrees. We are in a little bit of an unsettled pattern with several chances of rain this week, including tomorrow, then Thursday night into Friday morning. That's our best chance for showers and possibly some stronger thunderstorms, lesser chance to start the weekend. But really, one of the biggest stories this week is going to be how warm it is. 80 on Thursday, 82 by Friday, then back to the 70s for the weekend. We'll talk more about our chance for rain tomorrow coming up.